Peace and life, family. I hope that you are well. So I wanted to come to you today to talk about the body positivity movement. I find that it is such a taboo topic to talk about body positivity. So what exactly does that mean? Why do we have this movement, and how can we all contribute to body positivity for women and for men? Because men also struggle with body issues and also struggle with the perception of beauty standards for men in America and beyond. So let's talk about body positivity, y'all. So what is the body positivity movement? It is simply a movement that was created and started really with the millennial generation. It has been around for some time, but the millennials have really pushed this body positivity movement with the intention of shifting perspective of what a body should look like and what is considered beautiful in a body. Right? For centuries upon centuries, the media has put out perceptions of beauty. And those perceptions or beauty standards have changed over time. Back in the 20s and 30s, you had to be stick skinny and or as a woman and a man in order to be considered beautiful or sexy or appealing. Then over time, it has shifted to where you can have a little bit of curve, but you still need to be slender. For men, you definitely still need to be slender, but you have to be toned and have some muscle. And then now, present day, we have the more curvaceous bodies, but you still got to have a flat stomach, big butt, nice boobs. As a woman, as a man, you have to, have the nice pecs and the nice arms, and you better have the biceps and triceps, and make sure you have the V cut right there to make sure that it's defined and sexy. And so many of these standards are pushed of what is considered sexy. And if you don't fit into that box, then your body is problematic. Your body is a negative thing. And a lot of people have internalized these thoughts and feelings about their bodies to the point that when they look in the mirror, they don't have positive thoughts. They think negative things about themselves. They feel that they are ugly. They feel that they are undesirable. They feel that they are not sexy. They are not beautiful. And that's heartbreaking to me. That's tragic to me. And as a person who I myself have experienced those feelings, I can tell you that that is not mentally, physically, or spiritually healthy for anyone. Body negativity, body dysmorphia is not positive for anyone. For someone to look in the mirror and not feel beautiful and not feel sexy or feel undesirable is not holistically healthy. So the goal and intention of the body positive movement is to shift perception. What society perceives as beautiful, what society perceives as sexy and desirable, and also internally shift perspective. How do we see ourselves when we look in the mirror? Do we see ourselves as beautiful, sexy, and desirable no matter how your body shows up? I think that we need it. We need the body positive movement because there are a lot of people who no longer want to be here because they don't feel beautiful. There are a lot of people who no longer want to be on this planet, who no longer want to live because they feel that nobody would ever want them because of how their body has shown up in this world. And oftentimes, we have some control over how our bodies show up. But whether you have a bigger body, a smaller body, there's so many things that impact the way your body is shaped and formed over time. Everything from genetics to our society to the community that you live in, the foods that you have accessibility to. We have a lot of people who live in food deserts where you can't get good fruits and vegetables to be able to consume. You don't have the money to shop at Whole Foods. There are so many different components that contribute to not looking a certain way or meeting certain standards that we have no right to judge why someone may show up how they show up. Therefore, we have no right to say that you do not have the right to have a positive aspect or positive view of your body. We all deserve to feel beautiful. We all deserve to feel sexy. We all deserve to feel desired. And we all have the right to have a holistically healthy perception of our body, no matter how you show up. There's a beautiful quote that is stated by many people. There is no wrong way to have a body. There is no wrong way to have a body. No matter what body you have, it is the right body. No matter what size it shows up, it is the right body. No matter what color or colors it is the right body. No matter how you walk, how you move, how it's shaped, how many rolls, folds, stretch marks, lumps, and bumps, you have the right body. And as my aunt says, there's a lid for every pot. Your body is desirable. Your body is sexy. Your body is gorgeous. You have to feel it. Men and women. Because again, men also struggle with body dysmorphia. Men also struggle with looking in the mirror and feeling sexy, feeling wanted, feeling desired, maybe because they have a little pudge, maybe because they have hair on their chest and none of the guys in the magazines have chest hair, so they don't wax it, they don't shave it. Oh, no woman is gonna want this. You know, we have these terms of like, oh, the taco meat and all of that stuff, and we shame men for their natural body hair. Men also get body shamed. It's not just about women. The body positive movement is for everyone. No matter whether you are straight, gay, trans, male, female, anything. Everyone has the right to have a positive view of their body. So with the body positive movement, it is needed because holistic health is needed. We have to end this idea that beauty only comes in this box. My beauty is too big to fit into a box. Your beauty is too big to fit into a box. Therefore, we must bust out of these boxes. We must bust out of these confines of beautiful, of sexy, and create our own definitions. And with the body positive movement, we are creating our definitions. We have to do away with this idea that beauty is associated with thinness and beauty is associated with six packs and abs and muscles. We have to do away with this idea that beauty is associated with a skin tone or a hair length. Beauty is you. Beauty is what you see in the mirror. Desirable is the feeling that someone has when they look at you because of the feeling you have when you look at yourself. If you desire yourself, someone else will desire you. The internal manifests as the external. So the view that we have of ourselves impacts the view that other people have of us. And this is why we need the body positive movement, because we have to encourage more people to feel beautiful about themselves internally. And with the internal change, the external shift will occur. The external movement will occur so that we can shift those perceptions of beautiful on the outside by shifting our perception of what is beautiful on the inside. It starts with us. It starts within. I did a video a while ago talking about Lizzo and the comments that were made about Lizzo's body. And in the comments of that video, so many people was like, oh, she's fat and unattractive and she needs to put her body away. That is ugly. She's not sexy. And I still get so many comments to this day of people just trashing her for her body and her bravery to show her body. Lizzo wears a bikini and people go crazy because her body is not standardly beautiful. That is horrible. Are we denying that, oh, certain health conditions are associated with obesity? Absolutely not. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying that because you are obese, you are not susceptible to more health issues. Science has proven that. We know that. But what it's about is while I have this body, while I'm in this shape, while I am this size, do I not have the right to feel beautiful? While someone is in the midst of getting healthy, or healthier physically, do they not have the right to feel beautiful? And also, why is a size associated with health? Thinner people can be sick. Thinness and health is not associated. It's not one and all. You can be thicker and be healthy. You can be thinner and be unhealthy, and vice versa. So I feel like we have to separate the idea of size and health. We need to separate that some. We have to do away with that association because that is also contributing to the hatred that people have for their bodies. It's one thing to have the conversation of let's get healthy, let's make sure we're working out, let's make sure we're moving our body, let's make sure we're getting our cardio in so that we can be internally healthy. It's one thing to have that conversation. And there's a whole other thing to say that someone is externally ugly because of the way that their body shows up. And with the body positive movement, it's really just separating those conversations and really doing away with that standard of beauty. Beauty does not have a size. Beauty does not have a color. Beauty does not have a gender. Beauty does not have a build. Beauty is exactly who you are. Beauty is a feeling. It's an emotion. So for the body positive movement, if you want to join it, if you want to be a part of the shift and the change, simply just look at yourself in the mirror and just know for sure that you are sexy. And you may not feel it at first. Trust me, I know. I struggled with weight from the time I was a child. I was a chunky baby. I became a chunky toddler. I was an even chunkier kid. I was an even chunkier teen. I was a big adult. I've been everywhere from a size 14 to a 26. Now I'm an 18. I've been all over the map when it comes to weight and size. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and question why you were born into this body. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and not feel sexy and not feel desirable. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and feel like something is wrong with you because you have a stretch mark in a certain place, or you have a roll, or something is hanging a certain way, or your arm fat moves. I know what that feels like. So I can tell you that the transition of changing your mindset of how your body looks is not easy. I started by just walking around my house naked so that I had no other choice but to look in the mirror and see myself for exactly who I was. And the first thing I would always go to was the dimples and the folds and the cellulite and the rolls and the stretch marks. That was the first thing I would go to. And I would just oftentimes just be like, oh my God, I hate this. Oh my God, why do I have to look like this? That was the first thing that would happen. But then I had to really intentionally shift the way that I spoke to me about me. Because I realized that I was talking to me about me. I was talking to myself. I was down in myself. I was trashing myself before I was even giving the world an opportunity to do it. I was doing it when I looked in the mirror. So I had to shift the way that I spoke to me about me. I had to start telling me, girl, you fine. Girl, you sexy. And at first I didn't even believe it. At first I was like, girl, come on now. And it was difficult. But then I had to start finding parts of my body that I did like. And it was hard at first. I had to start with little things like, okay, I like the way my teeth are right here. And even if I felt like something was wrong with them, like I felt like, oh, I have buck teeth because I used to suck my thumb. But I was like, okay, I do like the shape of my teeth. I do like my nose. Okay, I like my lips. I like that. Had to start moving around. Okay, I feel like I have nice hands. Stuff like that. And then I was able to get to my more parts of my body and find other things that I like. And what I did over time by doing that activity of every time I look in the mirror, just finding something about myself that I like, what I did is I found that there were so many more things that I liked versus what I didn't like. There was so much more that I felt was beautiful versus what I didn't feel was beautiful. So if you want to become a part of the body positive movement, every time you look in the mirror, just start by saying, I am beautiful. I am sexy. I am desirable because I desire me. And then find one thing, even the smallest thing, even if it's the way a strand of hair lays on your head, find one thing about yourself that you think is beautiful. And you praise yourself for that. And the next day find something else. And the next day find something else. And even if for a while you just got to go back and keep repeating the same thing, you go back and you repeat that same thing. But every day find something about yourself that you think is beautiful. And then I challenge you to help shift the perspective of the world by going out and you find someone on the street, a stranger, to compliment. Call them beautiful. Tell them your hair looks great. You have beautiful eyelashes. Your eyebrows are gorgeous. Find a man. A lot of men do not get compliments. Contrary to popular belief, A lot of men do not get complimented on the way they look. I feel like women, it's so acceptable in the world for women to be told, oh, you look beautiful, oh, you look gorgeous. But oftentimes we don't tell men that they look great. Oh, you're having a great hair day, or oh, that lineup is fresh, or okay, I see that fresh cut, or oh, I like that outfit, you have beautiful skin. We don't compliment men enough. So let's compliment more men and tell them how amazing they look. Let's give each other that love and uplift each other, no matter how your body shows up, no matter how their body shows up. We all have something that's beautiful. And that's just what I really wanted to say about the body positive movement. I was just on my Instagram and I was just like looking at different bodies and I was just like, wow, people are so gorgeous. And then as I was scrolling down my Explore page, I'm like, people are just beautiful. And I'm seeing more beautiful people of all different hues, shapes, sizes, races, ethnicities, religions, just so much beauty. I get a notification of a comment on the Lizzo video and that I created, and I open up the video and I see the comment and it's another person saying that her body is disgusting. And that just broke my heart. Because there's a little girl right now who looks like Lizzo, and she loves Lizzo because Lizzo is brave enough to endure the hatred from the world so that she herself can shift perspective. She herself can push the movement, the body positive movement forward by taking the brunt of the jokes, by putting the world's perception in their face. She's showing you who you are. She's showing people that they are a part of the problem. When people see Lizzo on the front of a yacht twerking in her bikini and they're like, ew, she's showing you who you are. The fact that you can see her twerking in a bikini and you think it's disgusting, but you can see Rihanna or Beyonce dancing in a bikini and you think it's beautiful, is showing you who you are. Why is her body disgusting to you? Really ask yourself that. And if you are one of those people that thinks Lizzo is beautiful, leave that positive comment. Trust me, she needs to see it. She needs to hear it, because although she puts on the perception like she's okay and she's going to keep pushing the body positive movement forward, trust me, it hurts. She may never say it, but it hurts. Think about how you would feel if every time you opened your comments, it was someone there telling you how much they hate your body. How would you feel? What if those standards completely flipped and big became the standard for beautiful? Imagine how a smaller person would feel. Imagine how that perception of self would shift. Imagine if fat became desirable, if fat became the sexy. Imagine that. Imagine in a world where the bigger you were, the more beautiful you were and the more desired you were. Imagine that. Imagine how society would shift so quickly. Imagine if the shoe was on the other foot. Let's have some compassion and some empathy, So I'm done. I don't want this to turn into like a rant, but I really just for the sake of our young children, our young girls, and our adults. I have an aunt she's a bigger woman and she still struggles with body issues and how she feels about her body. And she's been that way her whole life. I remember being a little girl and my aunt and my mom would sit and they would talk about their bodies and how much they didn't like their bodies and they wanted to lose weight. And I remember making the decision at that age, at 9 years old, that I was not going to be that woman. Yes, I was this girl with this body and this size, but I knew that I was not going to be that woman who hated her body for her whole life. So I had to go on a journey, because in my teenage years, I started hating my body. And I didn't understand why. And I went through the phase of not eating enough and doing any and everything I can to lose weight, and doing diet after diet, the Atkins diet, the lemon and grapefruit diet, the salt cleanses, and all kind of stuff to lose weight. I remember going through long periods of without eating to the point that I would pass out. I remember just being sick and not understanding why, and hating my body, just really hating my body, and doing anything and everything I could to change it. And then getting frustrated when it wasn't changing the way I wanted it to change. And then I remember just making a decision to stop. Because I knew, as that girl, I didn't want to be that woman. So sitting before you today as a woman who is still on a body positive journey, who still forces myself to look in the mirror and say, girl, you got it. Even when I feel like I don't sometimes, even when I feel like I ain't got it, I still look in the mirror and tell myself I got it, because I recognize that I have to shift that internal perception. I have to shift that internal mindset. The internal manifests as the external. See yourself as beautiful. See yourself as sexy. See yourself as desirable. And you will see yourself in everything around you. When people see Lizzo and see other big people or other people in general as ugly or undesirable, that is a reflection of who they are on the inside. It's a reflection of how they feel on the inside. Shift your internal so that your external can manifest and be better and be more positive and be more loving. Have compassion, have empathy for yourself so that you can have compassion and empathy for other people. Find beauty in yourself so that you can always see beauty in others. Find sexiness in yourself so that you can always see sexiness in others. The body positive movement is here, and there is a shift happening. I advise you to be a part of it. For the sake of your daughters and nieces and nephews and sons, I advise that you be a part of it, because you don't know how their bodies are going to show up or will show up or are showing up. You don't know how they will perceive their bodies based on the things that you say about your body and about other people around you's body. Be careful, be mindful, and most importantly, love you. Because when you love you, the energy of love will exude from you. And that is how we shift perspective. That is how the body positive movement takes over. It starts within. I hope this video was helpful, family. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Let's really just start talking about body perception and start loving each other. That is the whole intention with this video, Just be mindful. Look in the mirror, tell yourself you love yourself, find something sexy and desirable about yourself, and just do you. Fuck the standards. Peace, family. Love.